Alright, so most recent headline I saw was about Billy Ray Cyrus and Miley Cyrus, so I thought I would see if I could get what's going on between Miley Ray Cyrus and her father. Apparently there was something like some leaked audio to a girlfriend of his or ex-girlfriend's where he called Miley a skank or something like that, so I thought I would try to see if I could get what the drama is about between Miley and her father and how they feel about each other. So I asked 3 questions. I asked what's going on between Miley and her father. Then I asked how does Billy Ray feel about Miley. And then I asked how does Miley feel about Billy Ray. So there's a lot of negative energy here, as you would expect from knowing or hearing that recording. So the first thing I want to talk about is what's going on between them. It looks like their relationship is severely broken, and neither one know how to repair the relationship, and they both feel powerless about it because they do love each other as father and daughter, but it just seems like there's no way to go about it. And what's weird here is it looks like it kind of heavily involves betrayal, but like financially. So let me just get into this more. They're both feeling trapped about not being able to communicate the way that they want to, and because of this, they both feel guilt, anger, they feel regret. Mostly Miley feels this way. And because of this, negative feelings are coming forth and they're lashing out in frustration. So it's kind of like when you're mad about something, you want to fix it, but you can't, so you just get as mad as possible and just say the worst things possible. That's basically what's going on here. So, for instance, because Billy does not have the capability of repairing the relationship with his daughter, he instead becomes angry because of it and becomes more hurtful and says more hurtful things because he's so frustrated that he can't fix it. Also, it looks like there was a massive betrayal in the relationship between Miley and Billy, and a huge energy shift of someone who was disloyal and betrayed someone. I think he betrayed her in a massive way. And both of their hearts are broken because of this, because they used to be close, it looks like. But yeah, the relationship is like completely fucked up right now. The thing is that this is pretty temporary energy. They can resolve it, but there's a lot to sift through here, because it looks like he fucked her over pretty bad in multiple ways, emotionally, financially. But let's get into how he feels about her. So this is how Billy feels about Miley. What's interesting here is every time I asked about Miley, like all 4 queen cards came up to represent her. So she's got fucking queen energy. But what we have here is that initially he thought of her as the Queen of Wands, which he thought of her as a success, like a success story. He used to think she had her head on straight, like she was his greatest success, that she was creative, talented, that she was basically gold. But now he sees her as the Queen of Pentacles reversed. This is not a success. This is a failure. He thinks of her as, he feels like she took the wrong career path and is a failure now. He feels like she is being misled to make the wrong decisions. Like she went down the wrong path, isn't as much of a success anymore. He feels like she's neglecting her career, and he feels like she has really erratic behavior, especially when it comes to her career. He just feels like she completely threw it away. Let's see. He also feels like he was left out of big decisions, and he feels like if he had been able to be around, she would still be successful and he would still be successful. So he feels like he failed her too. She failed herself, and he feels like she failed him, because he sees her as a failure now. And an extension of that is seeing himself as a failure. He literally feels like she threw it all away. But yeah, he feels like she threw away her talent, basically. Which isn't true, it's just how he feels. But yeah, he does not have good things to say about her, or he does not think highly of her anymore. He used to think of her this highly as the Queen of Wands, but yeah, now he thinks of her as a failure. Going over here, this is about how Miley feels about Billy. She feels unjustly attacked by him. She feels like he's acting like her enemy and not her father. She feels like he's turned bitter and vengeful because he's not getting out of her what he used to get out of her, success-wise and financial-wise. He stresses her out. He has unreasonable demands. And because of this, she feels like their relationship is estranged and like she had to end the close bond that they once had. Kind of feels like she grew up in a way that he didn't want her to, and they have differing views of how that was supposed to go. And he never got over it. Looks like he has way too many strong opinions when it comes to her. And he's also severely jealous of her. And he also is very mad that she no longer sustains his lifestyle. She doesn't trust him with her career. She doesn't trust him with her money. There's emotional and financial pressure that he puts her under. And it looks like he did something unfaithful here to her money. Like, he did whatever he did to her, it was money motivated. I don't know if he was funneling funds or like making deals that she didn't want to do or using her name or something, but there's some big betrayal here regarding her career, which is a big reason why she cut him out of it and why she doesn't really do much with him. It says, let's see, she doesn't feel like he contributes in the same way that she does financially and career-wise. She kind of feels like she's carrying him, like he's kind of just like a leech that's a leech and a sponge that's just kind of soaking up her clout and trying to use it for himself. The funny thing is here is that realistically, and this is just the truth, because her father was famous before her, she kind of became famous off of him and like nepotism, and you know, she wouldn't have been where she was if it wasn't for him. But she outgrew him, and I think he still thinks that she owes him and that he should still be involved in everything she does. But she's a grown-ass woman, so she has to do her own shit. And it just looks like these two, also this has to do with the way that he treats her mother. She does not like the way that he doesn't like who she's become. She does not like who he's become. She feels like he betrayed not only her and her career too, but also their family. She feels like he's a completely different person, which is ironic because he feels the same exact way about her. I think they will at some point be able to repair this bond because they are father and daughter, and it does look like there's a lot of love here. It just looks like there's a lot of hurt here that they both need to get over. His is more kind of selfishly motivated. While she seems hurt emotionally, he doesn't seem hurt emotionally. He seems hurt like financially. There's no in-depth energy here about his own feelings regarding her. He's kind of like petty mad while she's genuinely hurt by the things that he's done. So yeah, he's kind of being a child about all of this, and he needs to remember that this is his daughter and not just some stranger bitch that he doesn't know. He can't be treating her like he's treating these random ex-girlfriends of his, and he needs to stop talking shit about the mother of his children because that's only going to drive Miley further away. There was one quote I heard. There was something like, the best thing you can do for a child, or like the greatest way to show a child you love them, is to love their mother. And I think that's true. And I think the more he trashes her mother, Trish, and the more he disrespects her, he's disrespecting Miley, because Miley is her mother. You just can't fuck with someone's mom. And yeah, she's always going to choose her mom's side over his. Even if she has problems with her mom, which I think in my last reading she did, but you know, that's still her mom, and her relationship with her dad is just a little bit fucked up at the moment. But yeah, so far that's what we have, just negative feelings. They both kind of are hating on each other right now. They're both frustrated. They don't hate each other, they're just hating on each other. But yeah, I think it's mostly to do with him. He looks like the guilty party here, and hopefully they'll be able to repair it, because it looks like Miley is really hurting over it, and he needs to be a father and fix that.